Dark clouds gathered over Europe in 1939. Borders trembled. Radios hissed with rumors. The world tipped into a conflict so vast it redrew maps, rewired power, redefined humanity itself. This is how World War II turned, how a chain of decisions and awakenings shifted the course of history. In September, Germany invaded Poland. Blitzkrieg, lightning war, tanks, planes, and speed into a terrifying new playbook. Warsaw burned, the League of Nations buckled, and a regional crisis detonated into a global war. Look at the faces steering the storm. Adolf Hitler, obsessed with conquest and racial empire. Winston Churchill, a bulldog of defiance, vowing to fight on beaches, fields, and streets. Franklin D. Roosevelt, balancing isolationist America with a grim arithmetic. If freedom falls there, it falls here. The early turning point was survival itself. In 1940, Britain stood alone. The Luftwaffe pounded cities night after night. Radar stations Royal Air Force pilots turned the sky into a shield. The Battle of Britain didn't just stop an invasion. It proved the Axis could be stopped. Then, winter bit hard in the east. In 1941, after breaking with Stalin, Hitler hurled millions into the Soviet Union. The Nazi spearheads reached the gates of Moscow. A vast land, a brutal winter, and a nation willing to burn its own ground for survival slowed the Blitz. Stalingrad became the furnace. House to house, room to room, an urban meat grinder consumed entire armies. In February 1943, the German 6th Army surrendered, an unimaginable crack in the Axis myth of invincibility. Morale shifted, momentum shifted. The war's center of gravity turned eastward. Across the oceans, December 7, 1941, a date that lives in infamy, pulled the United States into total war. The Pacific became a chessboard of islands and carriers. At Midway, U.S. codebreakers and dive bombers struck 4 Japanese carriers in a single day, tilting the Pacific tide. Technology accelerated everything. Tanks weren't just machines, they were doctrines. Combined arms punching holes for infantry to exploit. Aircraft carriers replaced battleships as queens of the sea, turning oceans into runways. Radar, code breaking, synthetic fuels, penicillin, innovations saving lives, others ending them. And in secret deserts, a new fire was born, the atomic bomb, a weapon that could end a war and haunt the peace. June 6, 1944, D-Day. Under iron skies, Allied soldiers stormed Normandy's beaches, carving footholds under withering fire. Behind them, factories thundered, logistics flowed, and resistance networks lit the way. The noose tightened. By spring 1945, Berlin was a ruin of ash and echoes. Hitler was dead. The Reich collapsed. In the Pacific, the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki forced surrender, ending the bloodiest war humans have ever fought. From the rubble, the world tried to build guardrails. The United Nations, a forum to argue before armies marched. Human rights charters to declare dignity across borders. It hasn't stopped every war, but it reminds us that peace is a choice, renewed daily, defended by memory, and measured by courage. The turning points of World War II weren't just battles. They were decisions, by leaders, by nations, and by ordinary people who refused to break. Their lesson is simple and hard. Technology changes the tools. Character decides the outcome. If you want more journeys into the roots that shaped our world, subscribe to World Roots History. Learn the past, understand the present, choose the future.